Hello, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, Earthlings. I hope you've got your cup of tea ready. The Daily Mail are being very naughty at the moment. Now, because some of you have been with me for a long time, and obviously some of you are new and welcome Earthlings coming to join our tea group, our coffee mornings, I will put a link in the description to my Wikipedia page so you'll sort of follow along with what I'm saying. There is also a link to an article in the Daily Mail today, which I can't remember the title of it, but it's along the line of Yacht Girls in Cannes, because the Cannes Film Festival has just ended. So you'll see, one of the things I'm really into is public relations. It always fascinates me how celebrities, Instagrammers, people who have high profiles, how they go about their PR, and some of them are very, very good. One prime example would be Princess Diana. She was very good at her public relations, and she did that by paying attention, listening with her ears, not surrounding herself with yes men all the time. It's very dangerous to surround oneself with yes men. Anyway, no names mentioned in this video, but I really enjoy. I don't normally read articles in the Daily Mail, but this one of course caught my eye. I don't know why. I really don't know why. Now, what they're explaining is that, and they do actually say this in the article, is that some young ladies, they work for escort agencies. There is nothing wrong with the oldest profession in the world, in my personal opinion. As long as it is done safely and that the sex workers are safe and that they're happy, equally the clients. It's a very private arrangement, and I sort of feel that's nobody else's business. Of course, spouses and partners may disagree if their partner is seeing a sex worker. Some partners are happy that it happens because it alleviates them of a particular obligation. Let's put it that way. I think a lot of you know that we have a family member who is a sex worker, and unfortunately the way she has to do it is quite dangerous. It's on the street, so we would far prefer if she could find an escort agency so she's in a safe environment, but unfortunately that is not always possible. So this video is not at all dissing the sex industry whatsoever. This video is criticising hypocrisy. And what really fascinates me, if you read this article in the Daily Mail, I think it will become abundantly clear that they've got their teeth into something. In this article, they make great reference to the late Colonel Gaddafi and his super yacht, his son and associates. They particularly emphasise the years of 2007 and 2013. They reference certain places other than Cannes. I feel, having known the Daily Mail, and this brings me back to my own Wiki page, I was once upon a time a fugitive from the Daily Mail. Not really from the police, from the Daily Mail. And it was serious because Graham and I were together, we didn't have any money, we were living in a tiny weeny caravan, we had a tiny weeny baby, we were potless, and I was faced with incarceration for, just to cut it short, it was to do with allegations of company fraud, running up invoices, company invoices, and not paying them. It was along those lines. And I had two co-accused who were both men. And of course the Daily Mail thought, girl, my mum was a Tory politician. We weren't a rich family, but they perceived us as a rich family, and they billed me really as a bit of a Meghan Markle. You know, she's a rich bitch, can't get her hands on enough money. She sucks men dry. She's a social climate. Well, I mean, I think a lot of you watch this channel, and I know that some people who work at the Daily Mail do follow this channel. And I hope they're getting a bit more of a lick of what I am and where I'm coming from. So it really interests me, especially people who like to pontificate in the media and preach and tell everybody how perfect they are. Again, no names mentioned. I don't think I need to. And then to read an article in the Daily Mail where The Cannes Film Festival, which a lot of you know, we as a family attended in 2017. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that that sort of thing goes on there. What the essence of the article is that people with super yachts, and we get the exact same super yachts come here to Gibraltar, they do the circuit, that they like to surround themselves with pretty girls. Why not? Nothing wrong with that at all. They have parties on their super yachts. They like to go to the Cannes Film Festival, and they invite these young ladies to, or young men who are very attractive to the party, so that when they've got celebrities and A-listers and high profile people, they're entertaining as a whole. And then the theory is that if any of the celebrities or guests like the look of the young attractive people, they may or may not have sexual intercourse with them, and at the end they may or may not give them a brown envelope which has the word gift written on the front. Now, the Daily Mail spoke to a couple of young ladies. I think they fully say we're listed on an escort website. One said she mainly works in Paris, but she does like to go to the Cannes Film Festival because it's big money. They talk a lot about Middle Eastern clients, people who have serious money, that they carry around maybe 10,000 euros in their back pocket. They don't care, so 1,000 euros here, 1,000 euros there. That it's good money. It's very interesting. If I were perhaps somebody who might have started out on that, and they do make reference to B, C and Z list actresses a little bit past their sell-by date, might be looking to not only earn a few quid, but some of them will do favours in order to climb ladders, make connections, meet people. Networking, they used to call it back in my day. I hasten to add, I myself have never done it. I've never actually had any offers. I don't know how to take that. I've always been a bit blokey, if you know what I mean. I suppose there's a market out there for it. There's a fetish for everything, isn't there? But no, I hung around Brighton Station once for hours and hours, but I didn't get any offers. But no, all joking aside, it's never been my cup of tea. Speaking of which, I thoroughly enjoyed reading the Daily Mail article, and it's full of juicy tidbits which I do hope other YouTubers who are more investigative than me and have super skills, super sleuth skills of looking things up and going through it with a fine tooth comb. I do believe there are certain names, places that are named in that Daily Mail article. It's definitely a keeper, so save the link. It doesn't name anyone in particular. Some of the people, crew members for example, on board the super yachts spoke under the understanding of anonymity because they'd signed non-disclosure agreements, but they admitted this is something that happens. It goes on all the time. That's not to say that every A-lister and celebrity high-profile person is doing that, but it does go on apparently, and as it is known as the oldest profession in the world, it doesn't surprise me at all. It's just like I say, perhaps some people might read it and think, oh, they've just named that date. Oh, they just named that person. Oh, yikes. Could they be onto something? Now, coming back to my hobby, yeah, let's call it a hobby, of observing public relations and how these things go and where it ties in with me. The way I've observed newspapers such as the Daily Mail and the way they operate is they will sit on a story for quite a long time. Firstly, to be absolutely certain they've got it nailed down legally, and sometimes even if they haven't, they think it's worth releasing, getting sued, because we'll make so much money out of the story anyway. But when I was on the run, and we were living in Holland, I think it was the Mirror, released a story saying the police know exactly where Fiona is and they're going to arrest her at 11 o'clock this Friday morning. I mean, it really was bizarre. Graham at first freaked out a little bit, and I said, calm down, it's got to be bullshit. They would hardly advertise it in a national newspaper. So we sat tight. Sure enough, nobody turned up. They didn't have a clue where we were. As opposed to a couple of years later when we were in Spain, and I think it was the Daily Mail, ran a story saying police haven't got a clue where Fiona is. And I said to Graham, then they know exactly where I am. So there's like a coded language in these type of articles, and only the person, the subject matter, and the reporters know what that subliminal and very threatening message is. I haven't really looked into the story too much of Philip Schofield because he's not a person who interests me. However, just looking on the peripherals, I would suggest that yes, there have been some subliminal messages, therefore certain people have taken certain courses of action, and that is going to be an unfolding story if you're interested in that. But quite often, when you read these sort of stories, especially in the Daily Mail and the Times, those two particular newspapers, they have a certain style. Almost like they're letting their victim know, they're letting their subject matter know that they've tasted blood in the water and they're on to them. And I just find that article a really particularly delicious read. Especially in light of the fact, and again I emphasise, no names mentioned, a lot of you have asked, how is Wally, Yankee Wally? I haven't heard from Wally in months. I know as much as you guys. The last time that I spoke to her, she was very happy. She'd had her teeth done. She's a stunning lady, beautiful lady, massive personality, and she seemed happy in herself. And she was very interested in the Murdoch murder thing, which again was not something that I followed. She loves crime stories, and I hope and pray that she's happy and doing well and doing what she wants to do. But let's not forget, she was bullied off the internet because she ran a professional and very large and successful escort agency where she provided a safe environment for the girls and lads, and she provided private medical care for them and regular checkups, and she was criticised and bullied off the internet by a man, Christopher Boozy, who starred in Harry and Meghan's Netflix docuseries. Not that Harry and Meghan have got anything to do with the Yacht Girl story. Nothing at all as far as I know. She's not named in it. But, I mean, there's probably other high personalities. Didn't Madonna once just admit and say, yeah, when I was on the Downsies, I did Playboy, so what? You know, and I admire the woman. I don't admire Madonna for lots of things, but I admire her for just saying, yeah, so what? Didn't Marilyn Monroe do the same? So what? But then there are some people, some celebrities, and there's quite a few of them on Instagram, these Instagram-loving bitches, who are like, I've never done anything of the sort in all my life. I'm just pure as the driven snow. Not that I'm naming anybody. I hope you enjoy reading the Yacht Girl article. As always, thank you very much for listening. And those who sit on tall ivory towers, and I think we all know who they are, be careful because you might fall off it. And come down and join us, sinning plebs. Enjoy your free speech in the comments section.